Welcome to the Cherry Picker, the horror movie podcast where we like to kill people, but not really. I'm your host, Zach Cherry, and with me as always is.
Tim McKay from Tim McKay Beauty.
And today we are talking about Happy Birthday to Me, released May
Woo!
15th, 1981. We were supposed to do this last week, but
Hmm.
then due to technical internet outage difficulties, we had to postpone it. And we
Indeed.
had scheduled it last week because it was your birthday.
It was. So this movie made a
Yeah,
little more sense last weekend.
it did.
Uh, this movie from 1981. But you know what? It's a fun movie, and I'm glad that we're talking about it.
I am as well.
We got what, like 10 minutes in last week? We said a few
I think
things.
we I think we recorded about 30 minutes and like cuz like everyone
Oh,
was here we had the chat going with the Patreon as usual and it was freezing up so bad and the sound quality I just knew it was going to like keep cutting out so I'm just like look we're just going to push it back. We have an extra week this month anyway so rather than taking the last week off we just made that week the week off and
this.
everything worked out except now we're a week later than your birthday.
Yeah, and thank you for all the happy
hmm
belated birthdays, everybody in the chat.
hmm
Appreciate it.
how did everything go? Did you have a nice time? Did you have like a birthday party murder conspiracy where someone tried to kill all your friends and frame you for it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then someone had a prosthetic mask of my exact face that they were wearing around.
And
Which is
like a voice
crazy.
box that mimicked
Yeah.
your voice. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
perfect. And come to find out they're actually my step sibling. So
Yeah.
go figure. Happy birthday to me, am I right? No, but what did we do? We went to a serial killer museum. There's a serial killer museum here in New York, and my friends thought that would be fun to take me. So we went, and it was like literally each room was a different serial killer's like what they have for Dahmer. They literally had a refrigerator. That's where I sent you a picture of myself like opening it, and they had like a severed head in the fridge. So like
Right.
very insensitive, I'm sure, to the victims.
hmm
But it was a cool museum nonetheless, and the gift shop was really nice. I got a cool pen that's like one of those needle pens. um but yeah, thanks for
Interesting.
asking.
Like a needle, like it's
You know
like
that
a
it's
pen
filled with
that
blood. It's like one of those like pens that like it looks like a needle filled with blood, but it's just a regular pen that you write with.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Interesting.
sell them
Yeah, I
at
can
every
see
little
how that would
potty
be
store.
very insensitive, but
Yeah, every
at the
single
same
room
time,
was like
it's
blood and
yeah.
yeah, lots of details about the victims.
hmm Yeah. Well, maybe the proceeds go to the families.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But
So
how was your
we could look into
weekend
that.
this weekend?
I don't even remember last weekend, so yeah, I can tell you
True.
this weekend was busy. Uh, that's all I'll say.
That's
But
all you'll say.
yeah, no, I had a good time. Sometimes I just like get in the zone of just like whatever I'm working on, and I just like everything else disappears, and I forget to
Mm,
like eat and exercise
yeah.
and go out and all that fun stuff. So it's good to just you know remember to
Yeah,
do these things
remember
once
when
in a
you
while.
remember.
Yeah. But if you yeah have a few off days and then get back into the swing of things. So that's kind of what today is. And every Monday, because we record these on the Monday night before we release them, it's just
Hmm.
like I know it's like okay, I gotta get down to work because we got the podcast to do. But I rewatched the movie because I had watched it last week before we were gonna record, and then again today because it's just like I felt that like in that week span I might have lost something from the movie.
Hmm.
Not that there's like this is a movie to forget, really. I've
A
seen it so many
little.
times.
Oh.
Well, you can give me your perspective of that. But I have a habit, and I've talked about this before, where I will be up really late, like working or whatever, and then I'll decide like now's a great time to like put on a movie, and it'll be like practically morning.
Hmm.
So I'll like put the movie on and then like halfway through I'll fall asleep on the couch. And then I'll like wake up to like a louder scene will come in. And that's something I found with like the my Blu-ray is that like there were parts where the dialogue was like I could barely hear what they were saying. Like the audio for the father, like any scene where it was like her and her father,
Oh,
I
whispers.
I could not hear him, but then she would
Hmm.
talk and she was like coming through loud and clear.
Yeah.
And it's such a shitty Blu-ray. There's nary a special feature, but there's not even closed captions. Because usually if
No.
that's the yeah, if that's the case, I'll put on the captioning just to like hear or like understand what I'm not hearing. So hopefully there's going to be like I want a nice 4K release of this movie at some point that has, even the bare minimum of
Mm.
closed captions so I can
Yeah,
understand
something.
what's
Because
being
I
said.
was gonna
Yeah.
be like, was there at least an audio commentary? But no, there wasn't even captions. So forget about it.
Yeah. But that did remind me of like just like falling asleep to a movie and then like being woken up, and I saw a reel on Instagram last week, and it was like falling asleep to House of Wax, and then like at the end of the movie it's just like the regular score, and then as soon as the credits come on it's like that like
Uh, Banger, yeah. With
yeah.
every match, yeah. It's so true,
Yeah.
so
And you
loud.
just like startled out of
Whoa.
sleep, like just
Yes.
like a heart attack. Yeah. Fortunately, this movie is not like that. The score to this movie is actually, you know, kind of like it's eerie and creepy, and like we were talking about this last week before we cut out, but it sort of was reminding me of, and I mean, I guess the other way around, but like the score from Valentine
Hmm.
felt evocative of this movie.
100%. In
Hmm.
one scene in particular, when I think it's the one with the skewer, and there's a few scenes, but I remember in that scene it was very loud, uh, and very distinct, where it's like that piano, dun, 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 dun. It
Hmm.
reminds me exactly of Valentine. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that you caught that
Yeah.
out too.
Yeah. And this is a Canadian movie, technically. Apparently, and I think like I've probably talked about this before with Edward, uh, that it's like a type of movie called canuxploitation, which is like
So
just like a
fun.
Canadian exploitation movie. I always like think Canuck is like a derogatory term because
It
because
very well
like
could
in
be.
in in South Park when like they were like had like the Canadians come and start like going to the American schools, and the teacher was just like, "You damn dirty Canucks." So I always just like now think of that as like a bad word, but it's not. It's Canucks, like the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, so wasn't there like a big push around this time to film a lot in Canada because of all the incentives? And like I know that a lot of
Hmm.
movies were trying to make it look like America with lots of American flags, but then this
Yeah,
this movie, I don't know if it well, I know the movie takes place in Massachusetts,
yeah.
but I don't know if they even say that.
So I think like I was looking on the IMDb trivia, and it said that it was like takes place in a fictional town called Exeter
Which
or
I lived in
Exeter. Yeah.
Exeter. Yeah, I lived in Exeter, Rhode Island. So there is an Exeter
Interesting.
in Rhode Island, one state away, like 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
But there's no Exeter, Mass. No.
Yeah, no, this was filmed in Montreal and probably like surrounding areas in Quebec. And one scene was actually filmed in the US. It's well, not one scene, but like multiple scenes where they were on the drawbridge, wherever that
Mm.
drawbridge took place. They
The
filmed
drawbridge.
in Phoenix, New York. Uh,
Phoenix, New York.
yes, just because there was no type of drawbridge like that in Montreal or anywhere near Montreal, that they had to go to New York to film that location. But otherwise, yeah, everything is Canadian. And yeah, Amethyst was saying Black Christmas, and they needed to put American flags all around, like in the police station. And I
On
don't,
someone's desk, like a little flag
yeah,
that's just there.
I don't remember like a lot of iconography, like American flag stuff showing up in this. There is a moment in the film though where the father he like gets a work phone call, and then he has
Hmm.
to leave town, but he's like the flight to Calgary is 4 hours away or whatever. So it's just like that I guess was the
Boop.
Canadian influence, and I always hear that and I'm
Mm.
just like, oh yeah, representation because I'm in Calgary,
That's right.
and
You're
yeah,
like my city.
my city. So it's just like, and I would imagine from Montreal to Calgary would probably be, I would say like maybe 5 hours, depending on like which way you're traveling. Because it's about 4 hours to Toronto.
Mm.
So I guess, given the geography, that might make sense for Massachusetts. I can never say it. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts
Massachusetts.
or Massachusetts.
I'm gonna say massive two tits. Um,
Massive two tits. Massive
no,
two
I
shits.
can never pronounce it.
Massive, and people call them
Mass
mass holes for the way that
mass
we
holes.
mass holes for the way that we
Yeah.
drive.
Mm.
Mass hole. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, those bridges, two things. Those drawbridges that go up like that always remind me of the movie Annie. Did you ever see Annie from the 80s?
Like the musical?
Yeah, the musical Annie, and the whole ending scene is
Yeah.
like so dramatic. It's like she like climbs up the bridge and she like dangles off for her life, and it's like so good. I like, always think about that.
Yeah.
Whenever I see bridges like that, I'm like, oh my God, Annie.
Hmm.
And then two, I love in this movie when like the car goes off the bridge. They filmed it so many times. They filmed it like six times or like seven times, something
Yeah.
like that. So like it went upside down every single time except for one. And then like the one where it didn't go upside down, like they used every single shot in the movie. Like they show it hitting upside down, upside down, upside down, and they show it hitting the correct way, like right side up. And then that's the one that they used for the movie. Like it shows the car sink and the car's like right side up underwater. So it's just funny that they included all of them. Like why did they keep
Hmm.
all those shots in of the car landing upside down? That was very
Just for
interesting.
dramatic effect, I guess,
Yeah.
It's
And I don't know if I even noticed that my first time watching it, but watching it again, I'm like, huh,
yeah.
ooh, weird.
Hmm. It's yeah, it's quite a stunt. I'm just trying to look up to see what the budget was for this movie
Mm.
because I'm very curious. Because just, talking about Canadian films and like tax incentives and all that.
They
Okay,
they
so
had that big guy in there,
the big
the big
guy,
actor, that big actor guy, the
Glenn
older guy, the
Ford.
d doctor. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's okay, so it's anywhere between 3.5 and 4.7 million, which
Hmm.
I'm not gonna do the inflation calculator, but it made 10.6. Um, yeah, like Glenn Ford, uh, and I'm not really familiar with him or what he's done, but it was him and then Melissa Sue Anderson from Little House on the Prairie plays Virginia
Yeah,
Wainwright.
trying to change her image, trying to like, get away from that little girl on the prairie
It's
vibe.
almost, and it was like, I guess more, I don't know how long that show ran, but I guess this was probably closer to the end of the series run because
Mm.
it went from like the mid 70s and this would have been like the 80s. So it's kind of giving me like Jessica Biel, Seventh Heaven, trying to strip away
Yeah.
the Mary Camden.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And like, didn't this movie take a while to come out? Like, I feel like I don't know if I remember hearing that. Like, well,
Hmm.
I know that they had to reshoot it a bunch. They had to reshoot, they had to change the ending. I know that much of it, but I don't know how long of a process it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, maybe it might have been a year or something
Like, I
because
think they filmed
I've
it.
seen like release dates for this being like 1980 and then 1981.
Okay, so maybe not that far
Yeah.
away.
Also, Craig is asking, how do I pronounce Newfoundland? Newfoundland.
I don't even know how to pronounce that. Where's that? Is that a real place? Newfoundland?
It's a province.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. No, I just
Newfoundland.
like, yeah, we've always like called it Newfoundland, but then
Newfoundland.
when you read it out, it's just like Newfoundland. Like, oh wow, it was Newfoundland.
This is
Yeah.
Newfoundland. It sounds like a good like
Yeah.
song.
Like a
Um,
Disney.
yes, it's like
Mhm.
Pocahontas or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, dark.
Yeah, well this I mean this was the same producers as My Bloody Valentine, 1981, which was also filmed in Canada. And there might have been a lot of American flags in there. It's hard to tell because like everything in that movie is like hearts and Valentine decorations
Yeah,
and stuff
red,
like this. And I
red and
think
white.
I probably prefer this movie if I'm being completely honest, just for
Yeah.
the like batshit crazy, like way it ends. But I think both of them
Hmm.
are like I love the way that both of them are filmed and shot. I think that there's like it has like that very like old school cinematography to it. This one feels more like a giallo,
Hmm.
whereas My Bloody Valentine is probably more of like the straight up slasher. of the two.
Yeah, I feel like this movie was a little bit more fun. Like it caught my attention a little bit more. I don't know why. And I wouldn't really say it's a fun movie, but I don't know. There's just something about it, the spunkiness
Yeah.
of the what are they called? The top 10.
Oh,
And I
we can
remember
get into all that.
it was just so
Yeah.
funny because I remember you asking me in the little bit that we filmed last week, you asking about the top 10, like you weren't sure, like, what is the top 10? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I didn't really think much of it. But then rewatching it today, I was like, yeah, what is it? Because even the teachers refer to them as the top 10. So it's not like just
Yeah.
a name they call themselves. It's like that's a
It's
position that the school has. And it's like you have to be popular and rich to be part of this like program.
but it's never clear. It's like so it's like a group of 10 students, five boys, five girls. And also they're in high school. That was another thing. It was like it's like is this like
It's high
finishing
school,
school or something like or maybe it's like some sort of like
prep
prep
school.
school or something, but like
Hmm.
it's not college. But it seems
Crawford
like
Academy.
some of them don't like they're there for like it's like a private school. I don't know what you'd call it, where you're not at home. You're not like it's just like you're essentially
Sleepaway school?
maybe I don't know what they call those things,
No,
but
boarding
it's
school. Boarding school.
thank you. Yeah. I don't know
Yes.
why I can't think of like just simple terms right now.
Hmm.
But not for everyone because Virginia like lives nearby. Like she has her house there, so it doesn't apply to all of them. But then you have like the French kid Etienne, like he's just like an exchange student or like what's going on there that but yeah,
Was he
it's
the one
like
spying on her? Was he the guy that spied on her in the beginning?
yeah.
What was that
Yeah.
about? Why was that so mysterious? Like, why was they
I
making him like such a creep? And then he's just a victim.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Well, we'll get to that. One thing at a
Yeah.
time here.
Oh,
But
you're absolutely right.
even like Craig is saying, I thought it was college, and it's just like it can't be. Like they're in class, like they're doing like high school level like science stuff, like with like the frog legs and all that stuff. But it's the whole top 10 of it all is very strange to me because it's like they're not friends. Like they kind of are. The first time we meet them, they're at the pub, which I think is called
Hmm.
the Silent Lady or the Silent Woman or
Oh, I
something
don't know.
like
It
that.
was not
Yeah, yeah.
silent in there. All those drunk guys.
No, it was not at all.
99 bottles.
But eh, they're sort of like thrust upon each other in this friend group, and some of them are like dating, but then like there seems to be this quality of like we share our boyfriends and girlfriends with everyone. And like
Yeah, Rudy
for
for sure.
instance, when we first see Etienne, he's like hardcore making out with Anne.
Yes.
And she's like like geez, you're like really like cool it down a little bit here, but she's also into it too. So they're like they're repulsed and kind of like aroused at the same time. But then we find out later on that he has something going on with Bernadette, who is like the
Hmm.
opening scene kill
Yeah.
girl.
Well, she says
And
she's like Bernadette's gonna be here any minute. She
yeah,
says
but
that
then
at the
and then we
bar.
find out that they go off and they hook up, Bernadette and Etienne.
What a
And then
slut.
like you said, Etienne was like sneaking into uh Virginia's house and like going through her underwear and like taking her underwear and all that.
Yeah.
So I mean like that makes sense for like if he's just sort of like the group perv and he's, you know, gonna like try to do whatever with all of them. But it's just like there's an established relationship that he has with Bernadette. And then like Rudy seems to be dating, I forget what her name is. Just like blonde number two.
Amelia?
I think
Amelia?
Amelia is the one with the
Sh
short
short blonde
blonde
hair.
hair. No, he's dating the one with the longer, the one who's the swimmer. I'm assuming she's a swimmer because we see her in the pool later on. Um, Maggie. Maggie is
Wow.
the name of that character. And the
Okay.
thing is the reason why it's some of these characters, and it's like especially like the two blonde girls, like I always forget about them because they just kind of disappear from the movie.
Yeah.
They don't get killed. They're not part of like the group that are displayed at the cabin at the end. And it's it's interesting because like the other one, Amelia, because she's the one that's standing outside of the cottage
Mm-hmm.
and
In
like in the
shock.
rain. Because like presumably it's never really fully established what happened. But I guess that she went in there, saw the dead bodies, and was just, yeah, standing out there in shock. And then when the father comes in, he's just like, "What's going on?" And she's just left standing there. And I guess she was killed because she's not dead there.
No.
But I guess it was a deleted scene and it was just too graphic that they had to cut it. So I think right after that, the killer comes and like axes her in the head and they just like took it out. So unless
Yeah.
that was like in the script, but the way that it's described in the trivia here, it was saying that it was too gory. So I don't know if like it was something that they filmed and they had to cut out because
Yeah.
there are deaths in this movie that they did have to cut down, and apparently that they're all intact on various releases. So you can
Hmm.
see more of like, I guess, like the graphic nature of some of the kills in this movie, but otherwise, it has been like really censored in a lot of respects. But that was something that was just like, I guess they just fully took it out of the movie. And it's just very confusing because, like, even in terms of Virginia's birthday, the whole concept of it feels very tacked on. And I think that you were talking about how there was like multiple rewrites and they were kind of rewriting it as they went along. Tracy, is her name Tracy? The girl who plays, yeah, Tracy E. Bregman, who plays Anne, the killer. She didn't even know that she was the killer. Like they
Mm-hmm.
were like halfway through, like it's giving me Scott Foley and Scream 3, where it's just like, oh, by the way, you're the killer. Um, but it's just like they decided it at the last minute because they felt like what they had written wasn't working. And it almost makes me think that the birthday concept was just sort of tacked on. Like the movie was kind of created and it wasn't surrounding the birth. Like it might have had a completely different title altogether. And that this very well might be true. I didn't see any information on it. But just because of the success of Halloween in 1978 and then like Friday the 13th and all that, it was like, oh, like we need to make like holiday and like
Mm-hmm.
special event themed horror movies. So they decided, okay, this is going to be the birthday one. But if you watch like the whole movie, there's really like no allusions to anything. Like at one point, a character says, and this feels like it was added in after the fact, well, it's her birthday next week. But then
Yeah.
there's no conversations about like there's no plan and like invite like, oh, we're gonna have it at the cottage. Because clearly, what's her face came to the cottage with a birthday gift, which begs the question, why was she invited? I guess like Anne would have done that because like Virginia had a busy weekend being
Mm-hmm.
like crazy and all. So I don't know where she would have had the time to organize any of this.
Well, Virginia was like being knocked out left and right with like that
Chloroform, yeah.
with chloroform. And it's like I like loved that little montage they showed because she just like runs down a hallway, it's like, like right over the mouth, like chloroform, and then like another scene, she's like cutting up food, and then like chloroform, and just like love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently with her death, Amelia, the girl that was outside, they were able to shorten down everyone else's deaths to make it less gory, but with hers, it was such a direct shot of the axe going into her face that there was no way that they could cut around it. So they said that they had to just completely scrap it altogether.
Mm.
And then just they didn't know what to do with her. So they were like, let's just shoot her in the rain. So my first time watching this, I didn't know that that's what it was about. I didn't know that she was in shock. I was like, what is this awkward scene? Um, but yeah, and then
Yeah.
she just disappears again from the movie altogether.
She's just
So
gone. But that's the
yeah.
thing, it's just I guess that
The dad
like
just left her there. He didn't care to be like, "Come with me, honey." Like
yeah,
nothing. He just left her. He's like, "All right, well,
yeah.
see you later."
But yeah, and I guess that means like Rudy and Maggie just sort of like we don't see that like the last time we see them is at the dance, and it's sort of like they have this sort of storyline where she went on a date with is it not Steve,
Greg?
not
No, I'm
Greg, the
just
other,
naming all the names
the
now.
I know the actor's name, it's Matt Craven, and I just remember that because it's a Craven, no
Mm.
relation to Wes, but he's familiar, like he's been in a lot. Yeah, he's Steve. Steve Maxwell. Um,
Ooh.
because that was like the whole point of like the earlier scene where they all go to the movies, and I guess Rudy wasn't invited because Maggie went with Steve as her date, even
Oh
though
my God,
she's
all these little
dating Rudy.
subplots.
Yeah, and it just
Oh
like
my God.
it's like you can't keep up with any of this. And then to get back at Maggie, Rudy was then, flirting with Virginia. So again, it's just like I can't even keep track of the interpersonal relationships between like all these people and like kind of who's macking on who.
Yeah.
But whatever the case may be, um, there's, I guess, those two characters kiss and make up at the dance, and then we never see from them again. So I guess that's the thing. It's just like if you find true love, you'll survive, at least in this
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
And you'll have a happy birthday to you.
Yeah, away from
Um,
them.
but yeah, I should we because I want to start talking about the first scene, but I forgot. Should we do any housekeeping
I guess
first?
we should, yeah, because I was just thinking about that like 5 minutes ago. Like we still have not house capped here, and
We
we're
haven't kept the
getting,
house.
yeah. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening or watching or whatever it is you're doing. And if, there's lots of ways that you can give back more if you would like to do that if you're enjoying this. So, subscribe, follow us on all the social medias, which, I'll put in the descriptions and all that. But if you want to give back even more, uh, you can head over to my Patreon at patreon.com/Zack Cherry. And if you're supporting at what is it, the Freddy Krueger tier, the $5 a month tier, you get to join us for all of these live streams and be part of the conversation, as you can see if you are watching on YouTube. Hello, Amethyst. Hello, Craig. Who else we got in here? Grant.
Grant.
Grant. And yeah, it's just like it's a fun way
Sarah.
to Sarah. It's a
Sorry.
fun way to interact with us in the episode as we're filming it. But on top of that, you get to nominate and vote upon the episode that we do at the end of every month. So if there's a movie or a particular theme, if you're a Ghostface supporter, you get to nominate themes.
Mhm. Themes are so
Then
fun.
themes can be very fun, and we've had a lot
Yeah.
of fun. What was the last theme that we did? Do you
It
remember?
was favorite and least favorite movies from each
Each
of each horror
franchise.
franchise. Yeah. I love
Yes.
that because it's so it's like out of the box. Makes you think.
Yes. Um, so there's that. But even if like you just want to nominate a movie that we haven't talked about, I think the Skeleton Key that was last month's.
Love that movie so
Yeah,
much.
and oh, I love it too.
Ah,
I think that's been my favorite movie that we've covered in a while. So yeah, just like
yay.
that's the thing. It's just like you could pick something and we'll talk about it if everyone else wants to hear that. So it's just a great way to kind of be more included in the whole podcast thing, and also with my main channel. And I'm getting back into like making more content with my main channel. It's just things have been slow because I've been preoccupied with other stuff. But it's early access to YouTube videos. There's also monthly video chats with me, monthly reviews that are exclusive to Patreon. There
Mhm.
are, your name credited at the end of all of these episodes and videos. And what else am I
Mhm.
forgetting? There's
Well, in the reviews, because if people are watching your monthly reviews, it's because they're a fan of yours, a fan of your YouTube channel and everything. So it's like a nice way to also learn about you because you review the movie for about 11 minutes, and like the rest, like the 38 remaining minutes, like is about your personal life, and we
I
all
think
love that because we all
it's
want to check in, we all want to hear how you're doing. So
it's sort of like therapy. I think it's the other way around. I'll like yammer on for 20 minutes or
depends how much
so.
you like the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't like the movie, it's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna like give you more about me. And
Exactly. And yeah,
then
I'll
and then
save the
I'll just
yeah.
give you all like the juicy details. And then believe
Yeah.
me, there's not really. But
Hmm.
yeah, I get very candid sometimes. But yeah, thank you for elaborating on that. But the other thing is the name shout outs for our top tier. These are the Crawford elites. These
Oh,
are the
these are
top 10.
the top
There's
10.
there's more than 10, but these are the Patreon supporters who've, given the most, and therefore they do get the most name recognition. So I want to thank the Michael Myers supporters, which are Kyle Beard, Sam Levy, Eli Hamouche, Shaggy87, Tim McKay,
Hey.
Stephanie Starbright, Horror Slut 95, Austin Hall, Cara Day, Michael Boswell, Michelle Hughes, Austin Morris, and then Ghostface here. Thank you to Eric Champney, Daniel Saturn, Garrison Nichols, Craig Lynn, and Josh Burrow. Thank you very much to all of you all. And Tim, do you even need to do a
I have a better
synopsis?
one. I have a better one this week. Last week
Okay.
it was rough. I don't know what was going on, but
Yeah.
at the exclusive Crawford Academy, a tight-knit group of wealthy students gather to celebrate another birthday. But beneath the champagne, secrets and jealousy are bubbling to the surface. When one of their friends suddenly goes missing, the others begin to wonder if something sinister is happening. Soon, more friends start disappearing, and nobody knows who will be next. As fear spreads through the group, they realize that someone among them may be responsible. The party is just beginning, the friends are disappearing, and before the party is over, someone will be saying, "Happy birthday to me."
Is this streaming anywhere? How did you watch it?
No, I rented it last week and then I wasn't gonna do that again. So I pirated it this weekend. This week. Oh, oh. Yeah. There was a very lovely website where I found it perfect quality. So I did that today.
All right. Well,
Did I
you
just
you
break your heart
rented
with
it.
that? I'm sorry. Yes, I rented it last week.
Don't pirate movies. That's all I'll say about
Well,
that.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Um,
sorry.
I would have paid for the rental for you. Anyway,
I was
Craig
working.
Craig is saying they were in Canada and drinking at a bar, and the drinking age is 18 in Canada, so I always thought they were college kids. That's true.
Oh,
It's just like they were in the bar, but I don't know, like that it could have been like a creative decision, like they, went down to the pub or whatever. They were clearly not welcome, like the owners of the
yeah.
pub were just like, oh God, these kids again.
I feel like college bars usually have a bunch of like college kids at them,
Mhm.
whereas like these were all like a bunch of older men. They all had like I don't know what part of group they were all part of, but they all had like that hat on, like those hats, and they were all like singing the
Yeah,
99 bottles of beer on the wall. So they were
right.
celebrating something, but
Yeah.
it didn't look like a kid bar.
No. Amethyst is letting us know that it is on Tubi for free right now in the US.
Ah,
Yeah.
there you go.
So I
So no
guess
need
that
to
sort of
pirate.
Yeah, I guess that
God,
sort of negates the piracy because you could have I mean you would have had to watch the ads. So
exactly.
you stole from the adverts.
Yeah.
But
Um,
but yeah, it's there it's almost like the ambiguity of that. Like, are they high school? Is it college? Is something that I do enjoy about this movie because it's just like it's confusing and it sort of makes this feel like it belongs in its own world. But I'm also like reminded of even like Buffy the Vampire Slayer with the Bronze, which is like clearly a bar that serves
true.
liquor and everything, but it's like they have high school kids coming in. And like not even like when the show started, they were 16.
So
So
true.
it's
I mean I love the episodes where Buffy would be like reading or someone would be like trying to study like at the Bronze. I'm like you're at a
yeah,
nightclub, like a dark, loud nightclub. Um
exactly. But it's just what they did. Another show that did that a lot was the OC because they had their version of that, whatever it was called. And
hmm
I guess that it was like a juice. Maybe they had alcohol like for the older 20-year-olds
mm.
that would come in and be like, yeah, can you put some vodka in that or something? But it's I love the way that they have to like the show will justify that and just be like, yeah, this is an all ages place where they serve juice, so like young kids are allowed to be here. But just know that, we're making sure they check their IDs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um well
Not here. Not
Bernadette.
in the not at the silent lady,
Yeah,
silent
well,
woman.
Bernadette
Yeah.
never makes it there, unfortunately. They're all
Yeah.
waiting for her in the beginning, and she gets killed off as our number one girl, our opening kill. Um,
Yes. In a
and I
very Halloween Annie Brackett-esque kind of
But
way.
what starts it all off is so funny. Like I do love that she's in heels. We all know that. I love that
Hmm.
she's walking around in her little like
Just
heels.
skipping
But
around.
but
Yeah.
what's hilarious is like the teacher's dog leash wraps around like violently wraps around her legs. It's like then she trips
Yeah.
like to the point where she face plants on the cement ground. And the teacher's like, "Oh, you all right, dear?" I forgot what the teacher says, but like barely cares. Like she's like, "What are you doing
Yeah.
out here at night?" I'm like,
Bernadette O'Hara.
how did that even happen? Like, what were you lassoing? Like, what were you doing with that leash? It
I
wraps
know.
around both legs. So I thought that was really funny. And
Well, it
then,
happens, and then the dog, like she face plants, and she looks up, and the dog is growling, and it's just like
yeah,
the dog is the like the music is all like danger, and then suddenly
hmm
it's just like Bernadette O'Hara,
yep.
out of
And then what?
nowhere.
And then Jane Lynch walks up, basically. Um,
Hmm. Well, no,
but
the character's name is Mrs. Patterson. She's the headmistress. She's the Jamie Lee Curtis H2O of
okay.
Happy
Well,
Birthday
her
to Me.
haircut
Yeah.
reminded me of Jane Lynch for sure.
She has like sort of like it's almost like a mullet kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing going on.
Blonde, little mullet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I love that this movie, yeah, it starts off with the music that we've said sounds like Valentine's. Like it starts off in
Yes.
this scene, which I thought was really cool. And then she gets into her car. So I guess Anne was just chilling in her car. Like, and that's the thing too, that like once you know that Anne is the killer and you go back and you watch this movie, you're like, wait, so did Anne show up late to the bar too? And like no one mentioned that. Because like Anne must have been late as well. Um,
Well, there were the three people, like I guess the last people who showed were
Virginia.
Virginia, because she like it starts and then she comes in, and then
So you think
Alfred
she's the
comes
killer,
in.
maybe?
Yeah.
Hmm
And then Bernadette never shows up. So I would assume that like that's the thing with like time in all of these movies. It's just like even the Scream movies is such a fluid thing that you can't like place because you don't know how long after this took place. Like she just said like I'm on my way to the inn,
Yeah.
and
So
then
maybe
that's where
none of them were
Miss
there yet.
yeah, Mrs. Patterson's like you top 10 elites, like if you put as much effort into your schoolwork as you did to your shenanigans, like you'd be in Harvard by now. Which
And it's
again,
like,
it brings back the like what is this top 10? Because clearly they're
exactly.
not
School
they're
appointed top 10.
but clearly they're not excelling at whatever they're doing if like the headmistress is just like you guys could be at Harvard if you applied yourself. So it's just like for whatever reason they get like the front row in the science class, like they get to sit there while everyone else sits in the back. um they're but it doesn't feel school appointed, like because it's just like that doesn't make any sense if they're failing.
Hmm
There's like factions within this group that don't like each other. They're all essentially sleeping around.
Yeah.
and and yeah, it's just like it's such a motley crew of people. Like it's just like it you would think of like, well, these no none of these people would really hang out anywhere. It's almost reminds me of Friday the 13th part 7, where it's just like we have to get every archetype into this cabin for this birthday,
Mhm.
another birthday party where like otherwise like when would these people ever hang out?
Yeah. Well, Bernadette, she gets into the car and she gets pulled, like you said, it's like Halloween. She gets like pulled into the back seat. Well, kind of like Annie in Halloween, who just gets
She just like
strangled.
hoisted
But she
up.
gets hoisted,
Yeah.
pulled all the way back, and then it's kind of like Helen in I Know You Did Last Summer because she's trying to kick open the window. But
Hmm.
then I love that she fakes her death. She like gets choked and she just like fakes that she's dead for a second, gets out of the car and runs like 3 feet and like squeezes through like the banister in the car, and then she like runs around and just like stands there. Like, oh, now I'm
She,
safe. I've gone
yeah,
far enough now.
Bernadette O'Hara has the survival instincts of a slug. And
Love that.
it's like she literally did it, the thing is like it's not clear where this parking lot is. Like it almost seems like a car pound. Because
Yeah,
just like with the way that like all the cars are just sort of like piled like almost on top of each other.
like House of Wax kind of like that, like Paris
Yeah,
Hilton
that
scene.
enclosure. But like
Mhm.
she walks it like she's close to the school. She walks down the sidewalk to the point where like there are people as she's being strangled, there are people walking by,
Yeah. Hmm.
and she gets out of the car and it's like all she had to do was go the way where the sidewalk was because it's like there are people there and there's safety. But
Oh
instead
yeah.
she turns and she goes further into whatever this thing is, and not even that deep because like you said, she
No.
only ran like 3 feet, and then she stops to catch her breath and she just stands there, like she does. There's another beat that happens because the killer, it like opens another car door and then goes through like all these cars. They're
Mm.
just left unlocked. Like that's
Yeah.
maybe that's the lesson, Bernadette. Like lock your car. Everyone on that campus should be locking their car. But the killer like opens a car door of someone else's car, goes through to get to where Bernadette is standing because she's not even trying to run away anywhere at this point.
Oh yeah,
And
he's
then open,
watching her
yeah.
through the car. That's so funny. He's like
Yeah.
looking up at her,
Yeah.
or
And then
she.
she, and then Bernadette like grabs Bernadette's arm and Bernadette runs another 3 feet and then just
Hmm.
stops there. And then
Yeah,
that's
stops
where,
again.
yeah,
And she's
she
like, "Oh,
turns
I'm safe
around and
now."
yeah, it's like, oh, it's you. And I love this is the thing. I know that it's so corny, but I love when movies do this where it's just like, it's you. Thank God. Because they do the same thing with the Greg kill where it's just like, oh, it's you. Why don't you help me out with that? And we never see their face, so it's like we know that it's one of them. And I would love it. Like that would be so fun in a Scream movie to just like if the killer was unmasked, but like we didn't see who it was, but like whoever was about to die saw it, and they're just like, he can't be you, and then
It
like
reminds
get
me of
killed.
Yvette
Yeah,
in Clue. It's
yeah.
you. Then gets strangled.
No, it's
Um,
amazing. I love that. It's such a great trope.
it is, and what's
Yeah.
funny is to think that like it was Anne with Virginia's like perfectly prosthetic face over her. Like talk about sweating underneath. Um, but yeah,
Do you think, okay, so that's actually a very good point. Do you think that Anne was disguised as Virginia for that?
I think she would have been because I would think that she wanted to like frame Virginia, if anything.
Hmm.
So I
But it's
would think
just
that
like, did she
she,
need to do that for someone who she was going to kill anyway? But I guess like in case she got away
yeah,
and
in
then she
case
could
she got
just say
away,
it was,
maybe
yeah,
she doesn't want anyone being like, "Oh, Anne." Yeah,
yeah,
if she, I mean, she's lucky that Bernadette was stupid and ran into the cars. I mean, she's like, if anything, she's like, wow, she could have ran that way.
yeah.
There's actually people still right there.
Well, that's the
Um,
thing. It's like this is the top 10. They're not appointed for their smarts,
they're not the
clearly.
brightest 10.
But yeah, I think that that's the thing. It's just like they're the elite because they're all the richest students.
Yeah.
And I think that that's established later on in the movie when we see the flashback to Virginia's like what is it like 14th birthday party or whatever, where the mom's just like, and here's a seat for this person and this person and this person, all the richest kids at Crawford Academy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this mom is painfully damaged. I love the character of Estelle. She
Oh,
is
she's the
so
best. Yeah.
she's so theater. She reminds me of like the mom from Nightmare on Elm Street meets like another mom. I don't even know. Just like so
Which Nightmare
dramatic.
on Elm Street mom?
The first one, the drunk, like funny one.
Oh,
Like, I love
okay.
the mom in
Yeah.
that one. Just like very dramatic and very, oh, honey, like living in a soap opera.
Hmm.
And so this mom reminded me so much of like just a soap opera mom. And she was just like, oh, it's like your drunk father. Like, what if she says like when she like answers the phone and she was like, it's your like worthless father, whatever she says, but she's
Yeah.
so funny. And yeah, she like so she obviously came into money, or I think what happened was that like Anne's father had an affair with her. And so Virginia's dad isn't even really her dad. And she's been paid off now, I guess, over time from Anne's father to like keep quiet because she said like she's screaming through the fence. She's like, "You can't
Hmm.
like do this anymore. I'm a rich woman now, so no more of like your payments. I won't take any more of like payments from you or something like that." So I don't know. I was trying to put those
It's
together.
it doesn't make a lot of sense because it's like clearly she's been married to this guy who's, we perceive to be Virginia's father for for a while. Like this has been their life. And I think that if like they were passing it off, like that's the thing, like it for all we know, maybe I'm wrong, Virginia's father is under the impression that she's his daughter, right?
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
believes, yeah. I mean,
So
he's a
so
little of
that
a creepy guy too, but
yeah, the actor who plays him, I forget the name, but he's the same actor who played the lieutenant in Bride of Chucky. The one
I thought he
who,
looked familiar.
yeah, the one who's like at the end of the movie is just like Jesse and Jade didn't do it, and then he like finds the Tiffany doll, and then like
Hmm.
she births Glenda onto him, and he like I guess kills him or whatever.
Screams, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, same actor. But yeah, if he's kind of like the whole time that like Virginia has been born, they've obviously lived together with Estelle and all that in that huge house. So they've been rich, they've had a lot of money. Unless like he just came into the money, but it
I
just
think
it
like yeah, I think I don't I that part I missed. Like, did he get a job that got him a lot of money, or like did she marry him and he had a lot of money?
but
I
here's
wonder.
but that's if she married him
Oh,
when
then he
because
would
like
know.
she no
Yeah.
because it's like that's like here's your daughter and it's certainly your daughter. I didn't have an affair.
Yeah.
But the thing with this like they're like super rich because they have like this huge house but they also just like have this huge lot of land that has I guess like a a cemetery on it like like it's not clear
Their
where
own
this
family cemetery.
yeah, their
Yeah.
own family cemetery and a cottage, like a big cottage where this is like the party is taking place in
Hmm.
like both like the her flashback party and then like the current climax
Oh,
of
I
the
thought that
movie
was just her
party.
house. That's not just her house.
No, it's a cottage that's on
Oh.
the property.
Oh, I should have known.
Yeah, so it's just like they're super rich. So it's like why what is the criteria for getting into the top 10 is what I want to know because
Well,
it's like if it's just money, she's had the money, but like we find out that this party that Virginia as a 14-year-old or whatever in this flashback has been organized to invite all these kids that don't even know her because she's never
yeah.
met them at
But why
school.
don't they know her? Like, is she a new student, or is it just that she just has been so quiet and shy her whole life?
I
But she's also
guess.
so rich, so she should be part of them anyways.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
why I
it
thought maybe they came into money because that's what like I think for the mom, for Estelle to be screaming through the gate and she's like, "I'm a rich woman now. You can't do this to me anymore." It seems like she's like new money. Like maybe like they
yeah.
came into money or something.
Nouveau riche,
Yeah,
as we
Neva
call them. Yeah.
Rich.
It's it's such an anomaly. And I think that this is, the rewrites and sort of like just a lot of stuff not clicking.
Mm.
And honestly, like I don't care. I think that it's because it's so camp, it makes it enjoyable. But the entire scheme, like Anne as the killer, is actually very reminiscent to Billy Loomis's from
Yeah.
Scream because it's like your mother had an affair with my father. The difference here is that like you were the product of that affair, which technically makes them half siblings.
Hmm.
So but it's the same thing. It's just like you kind of like you broke up my family, so I'm gonna take this out on you and et cetera and so forth. And obviously the mother, was her own undoing. She was hoisted by her own petard, so Anne never got the chance to take out the mother, but
Well,
it's
I'm
almost it's a
confused.
mix.
Why was
I
Anne so
just
mad at her? Like Anne didn't lose her. If anything, Anne grew up in a very like rich family. Like the dad was able to
yes.
pay off this woman, and they weren't affected financially at all.
Mhm.
Like she grew up with both parents. I don't know what the issue was. Why
But we
she?
don't know that. Like maybe the parents were like I think it's sort of alluded to at the end when she's giving her monologue,
Oh,
but
did the mom go
it's
away? I
it
don't
might
remember
have
that.
been something like that. It all
Oh.
happens like
I
very
will say
it's
I wasn't impressed with her monologue at the end. It was too quiet. It was too quiet of a performance. I think she needed to be bigger. She needed to give more Brenda energy because she was
yeah.
like, "It's me. I did it's all that." I'm like, "What? Okay, a little louder. I can't hear you, Anne."
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Um well, that actress, I think this was her first role in anything, and she's actually gone on to be a big star on
She's
soap operas.
stunning.
Like she's the Young and the Restless,
She's
which
gorgeous.
which
I
she's
saw pictures of her now. I was like,
yeah,
"Whoa."
which she has been on since 1983, so just 2 years after this movie came out. And then that was like her life. Like, she did that and then she got a job on Young and the Restless, and it's like you are set. Like you've got like this gig that like goes on for years and years and years and years.
Wow.
Almost similar to Eileen Davidson, who was in House on Sorority Row. And then she went on to do, I think it was Young and the Restless as well. Maybe one of those.
Well, it's
One of
funny
those
that
ones, yeah.
the other girl Melissa was doing Little House on the Prairie, and she did this movie to escape that life, and then
Yeah.
it's the opposite for Anne.
The other actresses are like coming there just like, okay, no, we get this. Like that's such a good gig because it probably pays so much and you just got like steady work. And it's just like you don't
Yeah.
always have to be there either. It's just like, you go in for, a few days out of the week.
For what, soap opera?
And yeah, and like because you're like
Oh, it's
soap
like boot camp, I've
characters,
heard.
yeah, characters in soap operas like aren't because like they're not in every episode, right? So they're just sort of it's like
But
alternating
they film multiple
storylines.
episodes a day. Hmm.
Yeah.
Like I've heard like for like it's like boot camp. Like my client's on General Hospital right now, and he loves it, but he said it's like
Yeah.
boot camp. It's like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I just know what like Eileen Davidson said on when she was on Real Housewives because she just talked about
Oh,
how it's just like,
fierce.
oh, it's such a good gig.
I'm sure it is.
So,
It must be
yeah.
steady money, just like
I think if
I don't
you've been
know.
but maybe that was different for her because she'd been doing it for so long. So like the same thing would
Mm,
apply to Miss Anne over here. But I
yeah.
agree with you that like she wasn't bringing like the Brenda energy to
Yeah.
it or the Jill energy, if you will, or the Mrs. Loomis.
Yeah. Oh, definitely not the
I
Mrs.
I
Loomis.
like the character. I like the reveal and the
Mm-hmm.
motive behind it all. But at the same time, like she didn't really get a lot of time to, you know, have a monologue because it was just like we have to wrap things up and then like
It
it's like
felt
all
very much
right.
like they're like, shoot, we need a better ending. We need a different ending. Let's call in the girl that played Anne and
Mhm,
let's have her be the killer. And it seemed like she's like, wait, what? And they're like, no, you're gonna be the killer now. So come on, be
mhm.
the killer. And she's like, hi. Like,
Well,
that's how it felt. Like she was a little nervous or
well,
something.
I feel like you're making her out to be this like meek sort of character, but I think that there was foreshadowing that she was kind of like suspicious. Like I think the
No, I
first
think she was
moment
much
is
stronger throughout the movie. And I think once
yeah,
her reveal came out, that's when she seemed weak and like kind of
yeah.
timid and like not as, I don't know.
The moment that I love because like when they're fleeing the pub and then the bridge starts going, they're like, all right, like let's go over the whole thing. And
Hmm.
Anne, for whatever reason, like I don't know why she didn't just take Virginia and bring her into her car, but she
Hmm.
like forced them into the car with Greg and Amelia. Because I mean she knew that like Greg was gonna be a maniac and like
Nearly
that's
killed
obviously
them
she was just
all.
trying to yeah, but I
Destroy his
love
own
that
car.
like which made no sense to me at all.
His car was demolished when it was like
It just
in
like
pieces.
yeah, like the front of it just like bam right into the cement.
Hmm.
But the thing that was funny about that is like afterwards, she's like, "What are you doing? You could have killed her." And he's like, "You forced her into my car."
Yeah.
And then she's like, I ought to break your neck, which she does do. But it's just like this
Oh
this weird
yeah.
like veiled threat that just like she throws in there out of and like emotions are like high among everyone, so it kind of gets lost. But then Virginia runs off and they're all like, ah, let her go. And
Into the
the
woods. There we go.
and the scene ends with this like ominous hold on Anne as she's watching her go away. And there's this musical cue that's like we have to like she just has this suspicious look as she's watching her and like, oh, she's the killer
Hmm.
because the music is telling us. Always listen to the music in horror movies. If it is like making a creepy, I mean, not always because like there's red herrings and stuff like that, but like
Yeah.
usually I find like in like Scream in
They always say that the
particular.
music is supposed to kind of tell us how to feel in like a certain
Yeah,
scene. Um,
absolutely.
and but yeah, they do the same thing later when in the school dance when Virginia leaves with Steve. Anne is just like just very blatantly staring at them, watching it like, and then obviously
Hmm.
she follows them and uh drugs her. But
Yeah.
yeah, my dad actually taught me that though about the music thing. I remember we were watching Valentine and it was the scene when Paige is like walking through the room, like looking for the killer, through the hot tub
The
room,
hot
and
tub.
yeah, and with all
Yeah.
the plants and everything. And
I love
so,
that
so
room.
I love that room too. And I remember I was
Yeah.
so scared. And so what I did was I was covering my eyes and like my ears, whatever. And my dad paused the movie, but like I didn't know because my ears were covered. So like, and
Mhm.
my eyes were like, I was like blurry. I couldn't really see. So like, I couldn't see that it was paused. I just saw the back of page. And so finally, I was like, what? I was like, what's taking her so long? Like, God, like, hurry up. My dad was cracking up because he had paused
Mhm.
it. And he was like, Tim, it's just the music. He's like, let's watch it on mute. It won't be scary. And so we did. We watched it on mute and it wasn't scary at all. And that's how I learned that it's the music that really gets
You
you.
should just like watch it on mute, but like have the Benny Hill music accompany it, like whoa, wow, 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 wow. For like any horror movie. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
yeah, no, it's and that's the thing, like I love the music here. And like in terms of like her being suspicious, I feel like there's enough red herrings in the movie that kind of mixes it up enough that you're not just like looking at her specifically.
yeah.
So people who made like the last three Scream movies and whoever's making the next one, like take note.
Yes.
Like don't just choose one character who's going to be the killer and make sure to like make them super suspicious. Like ch make sure you're doing your due diligence with everyone because you've got Alfred, the creepy taxidermist
Mhm.
uh kid who I don't know why he's being
They made him a
intentionally
very blunt,
yeah
yeah, very blatant red herring.
yeah
But even
hmm
Virginia was a red herring. And then half the movie we think that Virginia's the killer, openly the killer.
yeah no they well up even up until the point where we just apparently see her like uh stab what's his face with the skewer
Alfred, right?
Steve
Oh. Oh,
yeah
the skewer, that scene, yes. But even at the
yeah
cemetery, when she turns around
oh
and she
right yeah
stabs, yeah,
that's the first one you're right
yeah.
that's the first turn
Hmm.
um but yeah, there's like the father and the psychiatrist and all that. So like there's multiple red herrings that are working throughout this movie. And then even like Etienne until like he gets killed because he's like you said, he's
Little
creeps into
pervert.
her bedroom
Yeah.
and
And the way
it
they shoot it too is very weird. Like it's not even like a fun way. He's very like serious about it. So I'm like, why is this so
Mhm.
serious?
It's, but I think that maybe that was like a remnant of like maybe where the movie was going in a different direction because we see him like he confronts her. I guess because he was on his motorcycle, he went off ahead
Oh
of
yeah.
everyone,
When he
and then
grabs her,
he grabs her and he's like, "Can I walk you home?"
that was so weird. Like
And
I'm like,
and
oh.
she's like, "No." I said no. And goes home and the father's there, and then we just sort of like watch this like this if I have a complaint about this movie, I feel that it's almost it it could have been edited better. I think that they
Yeah.
could have really pared things down so like scenes were maybe a little shorter because this whole sequence where she's comes home goes on forever. She's like in the living room and saying goodnight to daddy and then goes up
Yeah.
into her bedroom and
Kisses
we
her on the
see
lips.
yeah, we see Etienne like come in and I guess he's hiding in there, but there's just like this whole sequence. She's like taking off her clothes and hanging them up. She's
Hmm.
putting on like the disco music, which I
Yeah.
think was that there's like a release of this movie from the early 2000s where they didn't have the creepy Valentine piano music at the beginning. They instead had the disco track, which I think was
Really?
this one. Yeah, people complained and they're like, okay, we won't do that again.
Well, that scene is
Um,
so funny because if you notice, like when she like goes over to like the to put in that track or whatever that what do you even call it? The tape.
yeah.
She knocks over like a bunch of books. Like they all just like fall off the side of the shelf. And it was completely a mistake, and the actress doesn't even acknowledge it. Like she acts like it didn't even happen. And it's just funny because it's at least three books fall off the desk, but then later when she slams the window, those same books fall. Like so, it was obviously a mistake, and
A continuity
I
error.
just thought it
But
was
yeah,
very
there's
funny.
this whole thing where she goes into the bathroom and there's like a silhouette behind there and she screams
Hmm.
and opens it, or maybe she didn't scream, but there was like a like "No," and it just felt like what is the tension in this scene? Because it's like we know he's in there. We know that if like someone is in there, it's Etienne,
Hmm.
and he's if like are you trying to make us think that he's the killer at this point? But it's like the scene goes on for so long.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
thought I
thing
was
that
waiting for him
just
to pop out. They want you to think that it was almost giving like Scream
yeah.
5. with what's his name, the blonde boy, with all
Oh,
the fake
Wes,
outs.
yeah.
Yeah, with all
But
the fake outs.
but like to have like there's one thing if like if there's the mystery like we don't know who the killer is or who's in the bedroom to like draw that out, but just because we know that it's him already, and
Hmm.
then for that whole scene just to see him like creep out the window and run away and he's got the underwear like that being the payoff makes it feel like in retrospect like why did we spend
So
5 minutes
yeah,
of
so
her going through
lame.
this whole sequence like I guess
Hmm.
like just to sort of like show that like she's kind of unhinged in a way like mentally like she's not well
Yeah.
there's something disturbing her but like to go through the whole motion of that like I just feel like that's where this movie could have really cut things down um, and then we sort of like slowly get the pieces of that as the movie goes on. Like I think the first real clue when they're like doing the whole thing with the frog leg in science class, and I love the transition where like the red lights like flashing in front of her as she's like sitting in class,
Hmm.
and then we're suddenly like in the hospital. And I think like all these sequences were really well done, where we've got like she's in the thing, she's got her head shaved in one of them where
Hmm.
like they're actually cutting into the skull. Like the effects that they used for that were great. And apparently they
Very
had
good effects,
a
yes.
real like brain surgeon come in and do that just so they could have like the
To
authenticity.
make it look real.
Yeah,
So cool.
absolutely. But yeah,
No, I love that.
all those scenes were really good and just
The
sort of like
brain
yeah
pulsating was cool.
getting this like story like that's what I like about it like it takes a while but we finally kind of like get the pieces of just like what is this mystery unraveling and what is going on with her and it's like yeah it does make her very suspicious and it just like the turn when we eventually find out okay the accident was just like because the mom was drunk and driving crazily home with the daughter after that whole scene outside the gate of the house, that's sort of like they go off and she gets this head injury because she swims up in the boat, hits her head and all that. But it's just
Yeah.
like, where is this going and how does this apply to all of the murders? But what I liked about it, and this is something that I kind of wish, it would be tricky because it's like for Scream to pull something like that off, like obviously they'd have to maybe reel it in a little bit more
Mm.
and apply a little bit more real world logic. But I would have loved for like Sam Carpenter to be a character who, it's just like if you're going to present her as being like having these visions of her father and all that, and like maybe make it seem that she's potentially the killer, like especially if the killers are trying to frame her as the killer. So we as an audience can kind of like second guess, like, wait, could Sam be the killer
Mm.
here?
Yeah.
Because they do that very successfully with Virginia throughout the movie, where it's just like, wait, like she's the killer. And then of course
Yeah.
we get to the end and then that's another layered twist where it's just like, oh, it's her twin. And it's just
Yes. Oh
like,
my
no,
God,
not
that's
quite.
so true. There's like multiple twists
Hmm.
on twists.
Yeah.
Because yeah, we're like, oh my God, is it her twin sister all along? But no, it's just someone that has a very Mission Impossible quality mask
Yeah.
that
Could
she
you
got from
imagine that in a
Alfred.
yeah, imagine that in a Scream movie where it's just,
Right? It's
so
someone just takes
yeah.
off the most, they're like, hold on 1 second. And then the camera cuts when it comes back, it's this like stretched out mask.
Honestly,
Um
and spoilers for Scream 7, but like I would have rather it just been like if they had Matthew Lillard come back and they're just like he's the killer if it was a thing or like rather than it being AI, if like Matthew Lillard actually stepped out at the end, but then he like pulled off like this skin
It's like Scooby-Doo.
and it was what's her face? The blonde, the Anna Camp underneath.
Hi, Sydney. Yeah, right.
Hi, neighbor.
Ew.
Yeah, I know.
Um, but then what about her creepy doctor? I think she had a very like weird relationship with her doctor. Like there was
Yeah,
one
he's
point where like
just
she kisses his hand, I think, or like she does something weird
yeah.
where he like touches her face. I'm like, get your hand off. And then he's like staying at her house overnight and he's answering the front door
Hmm.
for her. And I'm like, what is this
He should have just like
weird relationship?
he should have had a bathrobe on and just like
Yeah.
not
Oh,
even done
might as
up and
well.
answered the door when like the police came and been
Smoking a
like,
cigarette.
yeah, I'm watching her
Don't
over the
worry, I got it
weekend.
under
But
control.
But again, like that's the thing, it's just like college students or high school. Like what's the like,
Yeah.
if she was college, maybe it'd been like, okay, but
It
like,
was
no, this is
reminding me
high
of
school.
Tina's doctor in Friday the 13th Part 7 that we covered.
Bad
Um
News Cruise. Yeah.
Bad News Cruise. It reminds me of him like being there at the cabin with them uh out
Yeah.
in the woods.
Well, apparently, so Glenn Ford was drunk on set the whole, like allegedly drunk on set the whole time. And
Mm-hmm.
he had this like there's like this huge physical altercation that he had with the AD. And like to the point where apparently like the police had to get involved and all this and the AD kind of like went his own way and Glenn Ford went his own way and uh Glenn refused to get back to work unless the AD apologized to him. Even though like I like who knows what happened, but it's just like if Glenn Ford was drinking, I'd imagine that he's the one
Yeah,
that was like the unprofessional one
probably.
there. But the AD was like, I'm not apologizing to him. And they're like, okay, well, you probably should because like if you don't, this could hurt your career or something. So like the guy
It's so
acquiesced
true.
and then they you know, apologized to each other and made up and everything was fine at that point. But it
Such egos.
from all accounts, it just seemed like Glenn Ford was kind of problematic for the production.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that happens, especially like yeah. When you like maybe he thought he was too good for the production or you never know.
Not
He
everyone can be Donald Pleasance, just coming in as
yeah.
like a pro and just being like, yeah, I'm the veteran here
Yeah. Let me make it a
and
good experience for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Um but yeah, so the deaths were pretty interesting of this movie.
Yeah, I get the feel you wanted to go through this in sequence, and we just that didn't happen. But
Oh, the movie?
yeah,
Oh, not really the whole thing. Because no, we
I
talked
don't
about the
even
flashbacks.
remember the
We
sequence,
we
honestly. Yeah,
but we well no, because the deaths were just pretty clever. We like had the guy that
yeah.
was working out, and that's one where he thought he recognized Virginia. I could kind of tell it was a woman in that scene. I could tell it was like a woman's body in that scene. I mean, it'd
Do you
be
think it was
interesting.
a woman's body and it wasn't just a
I
guy
I
in?
think so. I mean, unless it was a very skinny guy, but I don't know. It just
Yeah,
seemed like it was like a.
yeah.
But oh, and
Well,
that's one thing
the
too is everyone in this movie wore black gloves. That's one thing I wanted to say too. At one
and
scene, and
mhm.
the boys are wearing them. I'm like, everyone has black leather gloves.
It's
This whole movie,
it's the equivalent of the screen.
everyone has
Yeah.
the same black boots. Yeah.
They also all have, I guess this is a flourish of the top 10 is that they all have these striped scarves. So everyone who's a top 10,
Oh, did they all have them? Is that what
yes,
that
yes,
was?
it's almost
Oh,
like Harry Potter. Like there's just like, and you're in the elite house, and you get this scarf. But that's the thing. It's just like so many questions about this top 10 thing. But there's
it's
this
like a
whole,
fraternity or something.
yeah, there's this whole thing because it's like, wasn't there a scarf buried? And that was
Yeah,
the
which
whole
I
thing
thought
with,
that was
yeah.
that was the guy that I thought that was the guy that died from the motorcycle, right? Was that
Okay,
his
so no,
scarf?
no, no, maybe. Okay, so that yeah, that was the first death after Bernadette is Etienne because he's just working on the motorcycle and then Anne comes down and like just takes the scarf and like throws it into the
Yep, just a little
wheels, like the
a little
spokes.
toss.
Yeah, and then he gets like sucked in and just like his face
Hmm.
uh chewed off. And then
Yep.
the Greg is the weightlifter. And wasn't there a scene like that in the that Clown in a Cornfields movie? I
I
remember
can't
seeing it in
remember
a
one thing
theater.
from that movie except for like it being a little like supernatural, and I did not like that.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah. So
But
maybe
it
there was a
almost
scene like that. I don't know.
yeah, it almost felt like they were homaging this movie just for that
Mm.
moment. But what I think is funny is because like he's like, yeah, throw that was pretty easy. Throw a little bit more on there for me. And it's just like, Anne, I could just, or I guess it wouldn't be Anne, it would be I mean, by his perspective, it would be Virginia, just like
Hmm.
putting the weights on. And then I love that, like, we just sort of get this shot because, like, she makes it too heavy for him, pulls the rack back, which I
Hmm.
mean, like, all you would have to do is sort of like lower it down and then like push it to the side. Like that's just like anytime you're at the
Or
gym and
worst comes
like
to worst, just throw
yeah.
it, like just push it back. Yeah, just throw
I
it
think that
backwards on
that
the
would actually
floor.
be worse because it's just like it might just like come down and crush your head, like hit your head. But like you tilt it to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tilt like if you're
Yeah,
bench
sure.
pressing and it's like it gets too heavy and no one's there to spot you or anything. Like you just
Hmm.
you throw it to the side typically.
Hmm.
But he's just like holding it there. Like, come on, come on. She takes the weight and we
Hmm.
get this like close up of his like shorts and you see the outline of the pee
Of his
and
bulge. Yeah.
yeah and just like drops it down, which I just thought was so hilarious.
Right
And
on his
then
crotch.
this and it like the weight comes down and it like it doesn't decapitate him or anything, but whatever it does, it like generates a large amount of blood
It breaks
that
skin somehow. Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Um,
Um
so it just broke into his neck, kind of.
Exactly, yeah. So very interesting. And then like she quickly cleans everything up and I guess like rigs the weight so it's like behind the door. Like I don't get that then when the girlfriend shows up with the pizzas and
Hmm.
the door opens and it just like falls down. That's and because that's the same character from the end that's just sort of standing there shocked in the rain. And I think that whatever happened here sort of started to trigger that. It's like everything was scary to her, and she's like, I don't know where Greg is, and
Just goes into shock.
the
Um,
weight almost like the weight almost like knocked her down too. So I wonder if like that was meant to kill her as well.
and then Anne is able to clean up these bodies, make them pristine, no blood
Post
anywhere. No,
haste, yeah.
and Amethyst is mentioning Nightmare on Elm Street 4 Debbie. I definitely thought of that 100%. I
Hmm.
thought of Debbie with the broken arms and everything.
Yeah.
But then there's like the whole scene with the church tower, and that was a very confusing the way that they edit that whole scene because it's like is Rudy, we think Rudy is the killer, and then we think Virginia might be the killer, but then it turns out that no one died in that scene, and even they
She
didn't know, even she didn't know what happened to him in that scene.
she blacked out. And like I think that that is probably part of the movie that like something got cut or there was like a huge change in the script where they had to like suddenly reorientate everything because it is very unclear. He's acting like a crazy person.
Yeah,
Like we were saying, like he buried the scarf in like the garden outside the school. And then like later they dig up and they find like the fake skull and all that. Like it's just like Anne had nothing to do with that. I don't like
mm.
I don't imagine what because like unless it was like
She's
something
like,
that
I
was
didn't do
like
that.
trying to make Virginia go a little crazier and all this, but like none of it made any sense. It was all just so like coincidental. But yeah, like he's up there and he's just like pulls out a knife. He's like, Jenny, I have a
Yeah.
knife or whatever. Like just like so creepy all the time.
And then
That
you see
actor's
blood.
name, his name is David Eisner. I don't know. It's like he doesn't have a picture on IMDb, but he's been in like he's still working steadily like in things. But
He reminded me of Joe Pesci a little bit. His smile.
I can see that. He reminded me of Thomas Calabro from Melrose Place.
Oh, I don't know.
Dr. Michael Mancini. It's just like the best. But he's just like the whole time I'm just like it's Michael. Um which is funny because this whole movie just has that sort of like incestuous Melrose Place quality to it of like all these people
Mm.
swapping lovers.
Yep.
Um but the whole time I just sort of like saw him like, oh, it's Michael Mancini. And the thing is, it's like if there was ever a character that was like right for the chopping block in this movie, just like it should have been him, this prankster who like faked his death and then like he gets off scot-free. He just
And the way he
leaves the
like
movie.
and then she's at the library or something,
Yeah.
and then he dangles his body down very Friday the 13th, like dangles himself upside down
Yeah.
and falls to the floor. Like, could have killed himself. Like all for the joke, all for a little like
Yeah.
all for a little joke on Virginia. Like he literally lets himself drop an entire floor to the fall whatever.
Yeah.
Floor to the
And
floor?
and I
Yeah.
floor to the fall.
Yeah.
And it's the blocking's not great there either because it's like we don't see him fall or
Hmm.
land or anything because I mean, obviously like they had a mat there for him or whatever and like couldn't
Yeah.
fulfill the stunt. They put all their stunt budget into the car. Because
Yeah.
like she's just sort of like walks around him, but we don't really know where he is at this point. And like suddenly he grabs her and it's just like, oh, okay,
And he's like,
that's what's
eh? And
happening.
he's like quiet about it too. There's like no music. It's just like him smiling. Like,
Yeah.
it's like so weird.
And but then her tune, she's just like, Rudy, where have you been? Everyone's been looking for you for days. And he's like, oh, really? And that's like literally all we get.
Yeah. And so that
Yeah.
was a very weird scene, very unexplained. And he's like,
Yeah.
I hurt my hand. Um,
Craig is asking, do the two of you like horror films that don't have happy endings? I mean, okay, well, this is not a happy ending, I don't think.
no, this has a grim, pretty bleak ending.
But it's not a but it I wouldn't say it's grim, like it's not like a descent kind of ending. I don't know why I thought that. Probably because of the birthday cake motif in that
Yeah,
movie. But like it's it's not I'm not feeling like hopeless. I feel more like, well, she's screwed and this doesn't look good for her, but I had a good time.
it's kind of
So,
like Obsession, like at the end of Obsession, like
oh,
how like
yeah.
she gets screwed for everything, like and she'll get it's very similar to that, like how she'll get kind of blamed for everything too.
Yeah.
And I think that that works. I think sometimes it works. Like
Yeah.
end of Skeleton Key, loved that ending. It's a very
Yeah.
dark ending, but love it. Whereas like I think something like The Descent, we're watching these girls, like these women try to survive the whole movie. So it's kind of like
Hmm.
when you don't get the payoff of at least one of them surviving, it feels extra bleak. You're kind of like, okay, so I
Yeah.
just watched them this whole film and no one survived.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't feel as good.
Yeah. Amethyst is reminding me that Ginny, Virginia, was placed at the bottom tier of the Final Girls ranking because Anne had so thoroughly succeeded at framing her. Um, and just for context, we this was a while ago. This was like the cherry picker after dark with Edward and I.
Oh
And yeah, because we
yeah.
did like a whole thing. We were like ranking every final girl, or at least like the ones that like we could remember, like in movies that we covered. And Anne obviously had to be one of them. And yeah, she was way in like the D tier, the F, whatever it is, because it's just like, yeah, she just like she got like she just sort of like takes it. Like the detective shows up at the end and it's just like, well, this doesn't look good, but she just like sort of embraces the crazy at that point and she's just like, happy birthday to like starts singing happy birthday to me, even though like her mouth is not moving, so it's like all
Done in post.
ADR. Yeah.
Yeah. And she has like really nice white high heels on. I love them.
Yeah. Grant is saying, I mean, the police could find Anne's Ginny mask. I don't know. I feel like that thing would just be like a little piece of
It
plastic
was
somewhere
so
in there.
thin. It was when she
Yeah.
peeled it off, if in real life it would be a lot thicker.
I love that
But
she had a wig on as well because it's just like I don't even think that she needed that. But the thing that was the funniest was that underneath because like Virginia, who was like posed at the table with her face forward, had the blue
mhm.
sweater on that she was wearing, sorry, that Anne was wearing. And Anne was wearing like the white sort of dress thing. And then when the father's killed, Anne as like as Ginny goes over to Ginny as Anne, takes off the sweater, and then reveals that she's got like she just pulls off the white thing and she's got her own blue sweater under it, which is clearly not even there. Like you would be able to see it. And I
Yeah,
guess like it just made more sense than like Anne taking off her sweater and put it because then it's just like we'd have to undress and then like
this
put
whole thing.
the
Yeah,
clothes. But
rigmarole.
I just loved how there's just like she bought two of everything just to make
Yeah.
sure that
This
she
went
could pull this off.
perfectly to plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be so
Yeah.
believable that she made sure, and she wasn't overheating once.
Yeah.
She didn't sweat at all.
I think that like one thing that might have benefited a little bit more is if they had given Anne a different look, like if they had just done something different with her hair or like even if like she was had a different hair color or anything like that, because there's so many parts in this movie where I confuse the two of them because they do
Mm,
look very similar, which also makes me think like, did she even need to use the disguise? Because like they do look almost exactly the same.
yeah.
Like obviously there's like facial nuances and stuff that are very distinct to them, but like the way that they dress and just like their hairstyles and all that throughout the movie are very similar to the point where it just like you could easily mix the two of them up. So
Hmm.
that's why I think the 90s did it the best because they knew like if we're gonna have characters like they all need to have like a distinct look. Like, like in Urban Legend, you've got Brenda who's just got like the big curly hair, and then your lead is a redhead, and then you've got the blonde as well. So
Yeah,
like I think
a
like
little
that's why like
mix.
distinctions like that matter. I think that like for the male characters in this movie, I think that they did a better job of just sort of like finding like casting people that like all had a very unique look. But like the girls, because like the two of them, like Anne and Ginny looked the same, and then the two blondes kind of like also I mixed those up too.
Yep. No, they're very easily.
Yeah.
I always feel a little bit that way sometimes with like older movies, not always, but I feel like it was easier back, especially with male characters. I would get them
Mhm.
mixed up a lot with like movies from the 80s. Because a lot of them look so similar. Like, but yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree with you though on this one. Uh, this movie I thought was funny because we felt earlier that she was pretty much supposed to be like the killer at the end. Like it was supposed to be like her ghost, I believe.
Yeah.
That I know someone mentioned in the chat. Which I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that. I think that would have been a
It
little.
for sure. Just like to have her spirit possess it. It would have been a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Um, I think the theatrics of that character is what really kind of like brings it all together because I think most of this movie is kind of meandering and doesn't really like long scenes that don't really seem to have a payoff go on for too long and needed to be edited down. So like once we kind of get to the Estelle flashbacks of it all, it's just like, okay, this is what makes up for it. Because this is a long movie. This
Yeah.
is like an hour and 50
It
minutes
does
long,
feel long.
but it's just like it feels long too. And I think that it
Yeah.
could have easily been 90, and I think that would have made it a, but yeah, I don't know. Like I might have liked it less if it would turned out to be a supernatural. I mean, I definitely would have. But I would be interested to see what that would have looked like.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially if the actress Melissa, is it Melissa? If she had to act like Estelle, like if she had to like act out that character at the end,
mhm.
just like so frantic. And I can't
Yeah.
remember Estelle's quotes, but I remember like loving whatever she like when the dad calls and she's like, "You can tell yourself." Um,
hmm
yeah.
The which just like begs another question. It's just like why didn't they give Anne as like sorry, Virginia
Hmm.
like distinct characteristics that were just like this is because it's not actually her, it's like Anne, like things that would have been like a tell to know that like okay, now in this moment she's not the same person, or at least like at the very end. And again, it's hard to tell because like the voices sounded the same too. That like was Melissa Sue Anderson dubbed over by the other actress at the end, or was
Oh,
that just like
I don't
still
think
Melissa
so.
Sue Anderson's voice? Because it's like how did she's like I looked like you, I talked like you.
Yes, exactly. They're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
covering all their bases.
Yeah, because
Um,
I'm thinking of whatever happened to Baby Jane with Betty Davis on the phone pretending to be Blanche, and it's literally just Joan Crawford's voice ADR'd over Betty Davis.
oh. Yeah, but even she like sings to the dad and everything, like gives him the piece
Yeah,
of cake. Do you want a big piece, daddy? Or a
like a
small piece,
little
whatever she says,
piece.
something weird,
Yeah,
a little piece. And
yeah,
like he doesn't even know it's not his own daughter.
yeah. And then she slices his throat with like the knife with all the cakey
Yeah,
stuff on it. Yeah,
goo. Um, yeah, but
yeah.
it's definitely a fun movie
Icing,
overall.
I guess.
The
Yeah,
icing. Yes.
the icing
Definitely a
on the
fun movie
cake.
overall.
Yeah, I had a good time with it, and it's one that I throw on every couple of years just to see what's
I had
going on.
never heard of it, so this was fun.
Yeah.
Going to something
Did
new.
it, is the alternate title for it Bloody Birthday, or am I thinking of
Bloody birthday. Sounds kind of
Bloody
British.
hell, bloody hell,
It's my
bloody
bloody birthday.
bloody. I don't know. That's the fun thing about IMDb. It has all this information, and I never think to check. But also known as Feliz Cumpleaños para mí. These are just the titles in other languages. No, it just says happy birthday to me.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I think there is a
Um,
bloody birthday.
I know that Melissa Sue Anderson was offered Blue Lagoon, which I think Brooke Shields did.
Blook Shields did it,
Brooke
yeah.
Shields.
Blook.
But it had nudity in it, and so she didn't want to do that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So Bloody
So she did this
Birthday
instead.
is a movie that came out in 1981 as well.
That's right. I think that's what
Yeah.
isn't that what I asked you when I was like, what movie are we doing again? Is it Bloody Birthday? And you're
Yeah.
like, no, Happy
Because
Birthday
you
to Me.
never pay any attention.
I do, I just
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah. I should check this one out. I don't know if it's any good. It's got a 5.7 on IMDb. Just for context, Happy Birthday has a 6.0, so this is slightly more favored.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um, oh, good night, Craig.
good night, Craig. Uh but with that, I think that's probably a good time to start winding down. So maybe it is the right time to get to the cherry picker.
It's not like we kill people on purpose.
Alrighty, we need a cherry on top for happy birthday to me. I think that we're probably in alignment here,
I think we
that it
both
is
know.
Estelle
Estelle. Yes.
Wainwright. I think the last name is Wainwright. Wainwright.
I think that
Yes.
sounds Wainwright.
Wainwright. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely 100%. Like the movie just like it comes to life whenever she's on screen. She
Mm-hmm.
is the motor that's keeping the engine running.
She performs to the
Um
back row,
and
and I
even
love it.
like we get to see her skeleton at the end of
Yeah,
the
with
movie.
maggots and stuff coming out of it.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a nice touch. I liked that very much.
No,
Yeah.
that was great, and I'm glad you agree. She was the best part
Yeah.
of the movie. She knew what
Hundo
movie she was
P.
in. She said, "I'm gonna ham it up."
Hmm. Yeah.
I
You know, it'd
love
be
it.
if they ever remade this, they should cast your client in that role.
June, oh my
Yeah,
God, she would be
I feel
so
like
good.
yeah.
She'd be perfect. Oh my
Not
God.
that I want this movie remade, but if they ever did,
Yeah.
I would like that actress. And I just found out because like we were talking before, because like she's the same actress that's because I never watched Parks and Recs, but she's the one who is the Tinnifer and like whatever
Jennifer.
the
Yeah.
yeah the Aubrey Plaza scene, just like she's like, no, my name's Tinnifer with a
Yeah.
T-Y. Who are Greg and Winona? Yeah. And then she was in Weapons as the
hmm
girlfriend of the of her ex.
Most people know her from
Yeah,
Grace and Frankie.
which I've never watched, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, I could just see her giving that kind of like
That'd be
energy to
perfect
that.
for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
Tell her I said that.
I will.
Um, okay. Last episode, which was like 2 weeks ago now, we asked you who deserves to die the most in Oculus. I think was the name of the movie, was it? Right.
It was.
I nominated Kaylee Russell. You nominated Marisol Chavez
hmm
across Patreon, Instagram, and YouTube. 52 for Kaylee Russell versus 183 for Marisol Chavez.
Woo! And you doubted
Congratulations.
me. And you
You and I didn't did it wasn't that I was doubting you, I was doubting the rules of
you
the
doubted
cherry.
Marisol.
And technically, I'm not wrong because it does go against the rules, but I'm more flexible these days, we'll say.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, thank you for the
it's not a
flexibility. Because
it's
I
not a
won.
big deal. You did. Let's see what the consensus is over here because I feel like I'm gonna have some issues with some of them. But we've got Noah Wag. Sorry, there is zero chance I am voting for Karen Gillan. This is like the tale of two movies for me, as I love the premise. Give me more Evil Mirror movies, and I love the dynamic set up between the siblings. So the
Mm,
first 40-ish minutes, I think, is almost perfect, but the second half is just kind of blah and tiresome.
mm,
I agree on both counts. I think that we do need more uh, Evil Mirror movies, and I
hmm
think that also it was a very good setup for, not the best payoff. But I think that's, the case with like a lot of movies that are short films that are then adapted into features because it's like
mm.
how do we pad this out? How do we fill 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Blue Box. I'm not voting against Karen Gillan. So this you basically won because people just love Karen Gillan
Yeah.
so much.
And I knew that. That's why I picked
Uh
it.
Kylie was proactive and came up with a whole plan at least. So Marisol it is. My personal pick is Tim. Never cared for his character and sorry, but the actor was far from convincing to me. Austin Morris, hate to do it to Amelia Pond, but if she had just been able to leave well enough alone, her brother and her could have had happier and safer lives together. So yeah, Kaylee gets the axe or boat anchor,
Mm.
either or. Uh, epic tastic, Joshua. Kaylee did nothing wrong. Beg to differ.
Mm.
Nicholas Wetzel, the hypnotic ponytail sequence in the auction house is enough of a reason for me not to vote for Kaylee. That pendulum
Yeah.
ponytail, yeah.
Mhm.
Grant Dempsey. I don't remember the details of this movie well enough to agree that Kaylee should have just let things lie, but I also happen to think with great conviction, despite, yeah, admittedly not remembering the movie very well, that Marisol, as we know her in the movie, is just one of the mirror's guises, not really an independent spirit with her own personality. Still, I'll vote for Marisol. Why not? Maybe she once pushed someone's face into a cake back when she was alive. Nice callback.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like, and just to epic-tastic Joshua's point that Kaylee did nothing wrong, Marisol did nothing wrong. She was like a pregnant woman who had this mirror in her house and it killed her. So it's like
Yeah,
she's
I
she's a
mean evil
victim.
Marisol. I mean evil embodiment of Marisol.
So the mirror essentially,
The
which is
mirror.
which is not
But I can't say
eligible.
the mirror. So I had
Mirror.
to use the
So
human
you had to
form.
so you had to cheat.
Marisol. I guess I cheated. And I won.
Good. You know what? Good show. You deserved it. So
No, but it doesn't feel good.
who do you choose for happy birthday?
Hey, well, I think the one who desires
Desoives.
who desires to die, who deserves to die the most is Mr. Thomason. That's Anne's father because he's the one
Can't
that.
pick him.
Oh, because we never see him.
Yeah.
Oh
That
shit,
I'm
you're
that
actually
I'm
right.
going, yes, that I'm going to put my foot
Okay.
down. You cannot pick a character who is not present on screen.
Okay, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess I'll have to go with my second pick, which is David.
Yeah.
Creepy therapist David, because I think that he has a weird
Yeah.
relationship with her,
Mhm.
with our girl Virginia. It was really, really weird. There was multiple in every scene with him. I just thought he was a little too close with her. And I guess he did have her best interest at heart, but
Yeah.
still I would say that he was just a little bit of a pervert.
Yeah. Dr. David Faraday.
Yeah.
Faraday.
So he's mine.
I am gonna nominate Rudy,
Yeah, the
RUDI,
wise guy.
because yeah, it's just like, where did he go? What was this whole weird, creepy, I've got a knife. So like
Yeah, that was a very
everything
weird
about
scene.
that, it's just like, for being underwritten or, like kind of the victim of quick changes to the writing, but also just for the fact that it's just like he should have died. They all should have died. Like that's like the top 10, like get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to survive. beyond that. He was probably like the most obnoxious of them two. Maybe. I don't know. We'd have to do a ranking of just like what is the scale of who deserves to die of this top 10 from most to least. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something with him that
I'd say the only girl that deserved to live was like the one that was in shock because she was a good girl that was just being like
she didn't do anything.
pushed
She was
around.
loyal.
She brought a
Actually, no,
gift.
no, she did. She brought a gift. She was loyal to her boyfriend. Nobody else in that group was that
Yeah.
couple. They were the most loyal to each other.
God,
They didn't
she
screw around
deserves the
on any.
world.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, I guess I have more respect for Greg.
God,
Even
Greg
though
was a good guy.
even though he didn't respect his car. Um, I love when like she's trying to like open the door and jump out, and they're just like, "What are you crazy?"
I know, right? You'll kill yourself. Even though that was like so. Apparently, when they filmed that, they actually did
Mhm.
destroy the car. Like it did break the car.
Oh, so
Um,
silly.
yeah.
But yeah, but no, my pick is Rudy for sure. So those are your
Okay.
options: Dr. David Faraday or just Rudy. So you can vote on Patreon first and foremost. If you are not subscribed over there, you can head over and even as a free subscriber, I open all of the polls to the public. So that's an extra vote that you can throw in there. So you can vote up to 3 times and
Mm.
push the one that you want the most to win. I've seen people do it. Take advantage of that. Instagram at the Cherry Picker Pod. Make sure to follow us. You can vote there too. And YouTube and the little community post section. I don't know what they call it anymore. So make sure you're subscribed to us so you can see that and see all future videos and even go back and watch like the library of other movies that we've got because there's 199 episodes
Yeah.
now.
Meaning next week is what?
Next week is well, hold that thought. Where can they find you on social media, Mr. Tim McKay?
I am on social media on Instagram at Tim McKay Beauty and on TikTok at Timothy McKay. Right? I think
And you
so.
can find me on my main YouTube channel at Zack Cherry, Zack space Cherry, and Instagram, Retro Bitch Face, also Letterboxd Retro Bitch Face. Twitter is Zack Cherry 8. And next week, for our big 200th,
It's the
we are we
200th.
are doing a Redux. It's a movie that's
Woo!
already been covered. It has not been covered during Tim's tenure.
Yeah.
But do you want to announce what it is?
So I am so excited. We are talking about 1997's best film. Well, in my eyes. I know you did last summer.
I know you did last summer.
I know what you
I
Is
know
that what I said?
what. I know.
Did I say that? I was so excited I didn't even say the whole
You said it so
title.
fast.
I know what you did last summer,
Well, it's like
1997, Jimmy Gillespie.
when we did Deep Blue Sea. You're like deeply sea,
Deeply See.
deeply sea. What did
I
deeply
just get
sea?
so
I know what you
excited. I
did
just
last
want to
summer.
spit it out.
Yes, I know what you did last summer. The Redux, because that's your
Yes,
favoriteest movie of all time.
it really is. I love it
Yeah.
so, so much. It's what got me into horror movies and the glamour of it all.
Yeah, and enough time has passed, and I feel like there's more to talk about,
Yeah.
especially since we already had that reboot, and it's summer, so
Reboot.
it's thematic. So anyway, that's all we got for you today. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and we will be right back.